Oh, yeah. Pew, 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 pew. We are live and we are back. I am your co-host, FW Mike on Twitter. Some call me fresh, some call me white, some call me awesome, and none of those people are wrong. I am in a fresh hoodie today. Pew, 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 pew. I know I look amazing, and that's okay. You can say that to me, and I agree with you. But ladies and gentlemen, a man no less fresh, no less amazing, no less awesome, my co-pilot, the man who runs Friday night flights in the whole dang town of Savannah, Georgia. Give it up for Savannah's very own Protocol. Pew, 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 pew.
What up, bro?
What up?
Man, I'm enjoying these grapes, boy. These grapes is busting. If y'all see me, don't just mind your business. You can see me over here enjoying these grapes. Because listen, listen. Good fresh grapes. I'm talking
You got the what kind? You got the green, you got the red, the purple. What are you working with?
I like money.
You like the green, the green ones, a little less sweet.
Yes.
But a little bit better for you. I hear, always. That's how it works. So
yes, like the green grapes, like the money that we're currently using. What color is Bitcoin?
I don't
next money.
Gold.
We used to say stacking green. Now we just what? What are we stacking? We stacking bytes.
Bits, bytes. Man, we stacking land in pew pews. You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
That's right.
Woo! Brother,
right,
how has your week been? What's been going down with you, man? You had a great show Friday night. I loved it. You covered a lot of ground. You know what I'm saying? You took us all around the country and brought us right back to Savannah, Georgia. We love it. So, yeah, man, what's good with you? How is things?
Man, things is good, man. Things is actually pretty darn good. Week was awesome. Went to court, had to deal with the court system. That was fun. I always like going in the courthouse, and having to do business, but that's what happens when you're a property owner. Sometimes you got to go into court and do business, and as long as you know how to maintain yourself inside that ship, you're all right. So court was good. I did a podcast with Alicia Miller Blakely, who's our alderwoman at large. We had that on Tuesday, and that's always fun, man. They showcase some teenagers in the area that played a game yesterday. It was an all-star game for high school basketball players in the southeastern region of Georgia. So that was pretty cool. Got to see those guys, state champion runner-ups. They talked about their event that was coming up on Saturday. And what else did I do? Hit the people with some knowledge on, 45, 47 and conservatism, and had to deal with this, crybaby, weak-kneed liberal guy who suffers from stage 4 terminal TDS. So that was fun. And that's Trump derangement syndrome for those who don't know what TDS means. He suffers from stage 4. And if you know anything about terminal disease.
Stage 4?
He suffers from stage 4. So 4 of them things. So
man, I've caught one unfriend 2 blocks this week from people who suffer from stage 4 or greater TDS. So, I'm with it. What was that conversation like, man? How did you? Because here's the thing: being who you are, you're a conversational ninja, right?
Yes.
What I mean by that is you know how to communicate the message without getting into a fist fight. Which can be hard to do nowadays. Which can be hard to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is. Sometimes I do, bim, bim, bap, 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 bap. You know what I'm saying? To be in there. Sometimes I got to kamehameha, you know what I'm saying? Like, got to hit him with the full-fledged. But this was fun. I really just made him look like the jack behind that he is. Like, he asked, what's so good about Trump that you got to make people, what did he do for people and did that for black people? And I'm like, well, did you pay attention to his policies? That was the first thing. And whenever someone tried to bring policy to you, were you willing to listen? That's the first question. Because if prefacing that if I can't bring forth information to you, then there's no sense for me to have it. And what was it? Tell me. I was like, okay, well, one of my favorite things that he did or he pushed forward was school choice. And we talk about how bad the school system is for our kids. And he was pushing this money that we put towards kids. The parents have the right to decide where the money is spent. You know what's best for your child: homeschool, private school, charter school, whatever the case may be. We have teachers right here in Savannah that I fought for to have their own schools. Hey, you having problems with budgeting, so they say, well, here you go. That's no longer a problem because each child that's coming to your school is coming forth with money to go towards their education. So if the money was good enough for the school system to be able to run their operations and take care of the child's needs, surely this money, this same money, should be good enough for you to use and take care of the school and the child's needs for education. So he went to fighting about that and trying to fight about that. And I talked about the politics on economics and how starting businesses and running our own businesses and employing our own people and taking care of our neighborhoods will assist in taking care of our communal needs. Well, what about economics? Well, he was cutting regulations, guy. Well, that's I don't want to. I mean, it was just all kind of fights, and I'm watching people in the comments respond as like, but he's answering you, and he's saying policy. I mentioned Prosper Africa, so these are my family over on that side. They're real Pan-Africanists, right? They really deal with the culture and being connected to Africa, and at least they say they are, right? So
Right.
one of my favorite things that Trump did was Prosper Africa, which was a trade deal that was arranged for the Western nations, or really Africa, but mainly Western nations of Africa that wanted to build and do business and trade with America. It was regulations that were cut, and it was an easier pathway call for them to do it. There was an emphasis on Black Americans starting businesses and doing trade with those Western African nations through Prosper Africa. This came about in 2018, really got its teeth rolling in 2019. Well, in 2019, that was 400. That's the 400-year anniversary, of 1619, right? When they landed in America and started the colonies. Prosper Africa was lined up with the year of the return, which is where Ghana and a couple of more nations, but mainly Ghana, was opening up to children of the diaspora all over the world from the slave trade. They could come back to Ghana. Ghana was giving them dual citizenship and were starting businesses and allowing for people to stake a claim in Ghana. So you have Ghana saying, hey, come do business with us. We want you to come do business with us and establish this as home because we know you're children of the slave trade and you may not know where your home is, but we're saying that this is home because we know a lot of slaves came from here. America is saying, hey, we got a Prosper Africa that you can come and do business with African nations. Prosper Africa, um, Year of the Return, coupled together. Those are two nation states that are telling you to, hey, come do business. Well, y'all are Pan-Africanists and you're telling people to go to Africa. You're telling people we need to visit Africa. We need to connect with African roots. And now we have Prosper Africa that's saying, hey, get in contact with Africa and do business. That's a great one. This should line right up with
Yeah.
you. Oh man, this dude, he blew a gasket. Like, oh my God, he ain't did nothing. And then he wanted to go to First Step Act. You talking about he released people from jail? He ain't released nobody but Lil Wayne. And I'm like, oh God. So anyway, deep TDS from all these people, man. It's just crazy. But it was fun. And in the chat and the people watching is who I really go for. The people who are watching these discourses take place, they learn. And a lot of people in the chats was like, dang, I didn't know about this. I didn't understand this.
Right. Well, this this right here is I don't know anything about this. And I like to consider myself well informed. And I try to spend hours a week, strengthening arguments or even finding holes in the arguments I have,
Mm-hmm.
all of that goodness. But wow, man, to just kind of break it down, Prosper Africa is a presidential level national security initiative aimed at strengthening strategic and economic partnership between the U.S. and Africa by catalyzing transformative two-way trade and investment flows.
Mm-hmm.
African nations play an important role in the global economy. The United States offers a large consumer base, the world's deepest capital markets, and a commitment to job creation, transparency, and social responsibility. And this was created under Donald J. Trump, you're telling me.
Yes. Yes,
Wow.
you can go and look at if you can find like that. All of that you just shown, that is some Joe Biden rework. That is nowhere near
Okay.
what it looked like, when it was under Trump. It definitely, that one sounds, social justice-y, and the other one was straight about business. But it was started in 2018 under Donald J. Trump.
Well, it's still a great idea. You know what I mean?
Awesome idea. Awesome.
As somebody who understands business, it's like, yeah, you have large American markets that are interested in your products, and let's
Mm-hmm.
make that happen because that's how you experience economic growth. It's not rocket
Mm-hmm.
science. So
Mm-hmm.
you'd think it was, but it's not. You know what I mean? So they make it hard. They make it hard, man.
They
It's
keep it
brutal.
from you.
So
They don't want you to see it. They didn't need people to see it. They didn't want anyone to know about this action that was taking place with Trump as far as building up the black community, because that would have dispelled the narrative that he doesn't care about black people. So they kept this quiet, shut off, and nobody talk about it
right, right.
except for me, because I was waving the hell out of my flag.
And that's fair. That's fair. And you do a great job of that. So, speaking of waving the flag, speaking of things that wouldn't be done under Trump,
Hmm.
I sent you this a little bit. It's not necessarily in our plan, but it blew me away. And I wanted to talk about it. And that is the uncensored or misinformation FBI attack. The Biden administration is trying to send an 82-year veteran to prison for life for repeating quote unquote Russian misinformation.
Mm.
You know what I'm talking about? Were you able to check that out?
I looked at it briefly while I was doing some other things, and it kind of pissed me off. So I just said we'll talk about it tonight when we get on the show, because I was pissed off. But come on, let's jump into it. What we
Long story short, okay, so it's called the Black Nationalist what is it, the Black Nationalist Socialist Party, and it's a small group in Florida, right? A small,
Mm-hmm.
basically religious group in Florida. And um let's see here, basically let me pull up. I have it here. Let me pull up the actual print on it, right? Because I have the video here. You know what? And let me just do that. Give me one sec. All right, here we go. Want to watch some Tucker?
Tucker.
What's sad is Tucker is talking about this, and we should be as well. So here we
Right.
go.
There's a discussion about Russian military border buildup on its border with Ukraine, and how this represents a terrible threat to Ukraine by Russians. But there is no acknowledgement of the history that took us to this place. How the U.S. overthrew, participated in facilitating the overthrow of a government in Ukraine that was friendly to the Soviet Union. Nor does it talk about the history of this relationship between Ukraine and Russia. And you have to remember that they're using NATO here too. And NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, was something that came into existence to deal with the Soviet Union, or Soviet Russia as it used to be called. And so this is an ongoing aggression. It did not just start. It's been going on for a while, but the U.S. government relies on the ignorance of the people in this country and much of the world, that's facilitated by people like Zuckerberg.
So you can agree or disagree with that analysis. A couple parts of it are in dispute.
Okay, so we'll just start there. What did you think about that?
The truth shall set you free. All right. And America does such a good job with this propaganda, with miseducating its people with things that are going on outside of the US borders, that they don't understand the history of Russia and Ukraine. First of all, you'll be hard pressed to give someone a blank map, and you can just walk around the mall with a blank map, right? And just ask people, "Hey, can you point to me Russia?"
Right.
Just point to me Russia. Not knowing that Russia is like one of the largest countries, may even be the largest country landmass is concerned, right?
China, but yeah, it's second.
It's okay. Second, China's first, and then them. I know it was between the two of them,
Yeah.
right? But it's one of the largest, and you couldn't point out Russia or China, right? You're down to two, and you can't point them out on a map, right? So that's a big problem because they don't know that, so they don't know the history, they don't know what happened, and now they're only moving based on what American propaganda is informing them about, right? So we fast forward that to this conflict that we have, and not even understanding the truth, they're feeling whatever the media tells them. And you have
Right.
these African leaders, because Russia is doing a lot of trade and business and negotiation with Africa. Right?
Right.
You're gonna have these African people who are gonna be like, yeah, but and nah, man, Russia cool. They talk about all this stuff with Russia, but Russia over here, handling business, and they're giving us trade agreements that we feel like we can agree with. We know their history. We're talking with them, and they're telling us, and we're seeing what happened. And as leaders that are open to world history, we're seeing what's going on. So it's like kind of like what we heard ourselves from Putin, right? When he was telling us their history. Most people who even heard Putin in that speech with Tucker, they probably didn't make it all the way through because Putin took it as an opportunity to, hey, I'm gonna give you guys some Russian history. Let me give you some Russian Ukrainian history. Hell, even Tucker
Exactly. And yeah, not only that, but first of all, he did a great job of breaking down. It goes back to 2014. By the way, shout out to Jonah in the chat. Pew, 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 pew. Jonah. The Minsk Accord was a false lie to arm the Ukraine. Putin and Biden are partners, he says. They are working together to destroy an entire population of military-aged men that won't go to war, I'm assuming he's saying. And then he says Canada is the largest landmass is I believe he's trying to type Canada there. Okay, rock on. Yes. But to kind of put a period on what you're saying, the most frustrating part, one thing I appreciate, he broke down that this has been going on since 2014. This is a decade of them pushing in, and we're not even allowed to make the comparison of, imagine if Russia started building bases in Mexico or southern Canada. How would we feel about that? And then not only that, but then we blew up the pipeline, and, we've been trying to undercut them with sanctions, and we've been trying to destroy the ruble now, which is their dollar. Now, the issue there is that we not only overplayed our hand, but we, man, I just think the people in charge of America don't know what the hell is going on in the grander scheme of the world. If you look at our media and stuff, if it's one of those emperor has no clothes situations in that all Russia did was turn around and make a deal with China, where Xi Jinping, the guy who runs China, says this is one of the best deals ever in 100 years that brings Saudi Arabian oil in. And then we're now buying oil at a marked up price from Saudi Arabia that's coming from Russia. And then we're sending billions to Ukraine to, quote unquote, fight Russia while we're creating a billionaire oligarchy class. The most $1 million plus yachts in the world are being bought in Ukraine right now. But they're not getting MREs on the front lines. They're not even getting food to their soldiers on the front line. So you can't tell me, and I think it's done. You're not hearing much about it because I think Putin got what he wanted, which was his okay, I'm waiting. Go ahead. Sorry.
Because you're not going to run by that like you just didn't say that, okay? Just like you just didn't say that, okay? You're not going to just skate by the fact that you're telling all of us that the most $1 million yachts in the world are
plus
being
$1 million
purchased.
plus. Yeah.
$1 million plus. The most $1 million plus yachts in the world are being purchased in a war zone. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. Well, I mean, not the war zone part. The nice, comfy capital part where they're getting a bunch of new houses built,
Well, there's war in the country.
Yeah,
wow.
man. Yeah, man, they're buying yachts, like huge, though. You know what I mean? They got. Have you not seen the video? Like, there's videos, Ukraine videos of like chicks on. It looks like an MTV party, like the party boat MTV
Yeah.
party,
Yeah,
dude,
I've
or
seen
the
that.
Fresh and Fit, the Friday Night Live Fresh and Fits. That's exactly what it looks like. But they're in Ukraine, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so I absolutely agree. So this man is just saying. Oh, and by the way, what I was going to say is frustrated me was then Jon Stewart comes out and he hits us with the whole. He literally does 10 minutes on Tucker Carlson's face, completely ignoring the. And this is the shit that drives me nuts is that they completely ignore the facts, the context, the importance, what it has to do with America. And they make fun of a guy's face and go, look at this Putin puppet, look at his wacky face. But what is he saying? How dumb have we gotten? So anyway, back to it, man. This is, he is, you know, it is the African Socialist Party. So clear to say and safe to say, Tucker Carlson probably disagrees with this guy all the way up and down on just about every bit of politics you could imagine. However, even though he disagrees with his politics, he thinks it's important that this man be able to speak and not go to prison in America. So we're going to get back to it and hit that next part.
Irrefutably true. One, the U.S. government does rely on the ignorance of its population to do things in that population's name that the population doesn't want. Start all kinds of pointless wars, for example, get people killed, bankrupt the government. That's all real. It's also true that there is a history in Ukraine, and you may or may not think it justifies Russian aggression, but there's no question that NATO has been moving eastward, and it's hard to see why, what benefit there is to the NATO member states. In any case, that's a point of view. Agree with it or not. But for some reason, the FBI was watching. They were watching, and they considered sentiments like that not just wrong or offensive, but a crime. And so 3 months later, the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, our federal law enforcement tasked with keeping us safe, spent its time and a lot of agents, it looked to be dozens of agents, raiding the home and the office of the man you just saw speaking, as well as the homes of 6 other members of his organization. Dozens of heavily armed agents descended with stole things from
I'm going to fast forward to the
Yeshtela
videos.
and his wife and a bunch of other people who work for this organization. Then they handcuffed them and led them away. This is how they described the experience at the time.
They handcuffed me and my wife out here. They wanted me to sit on the curb while they were carrying this out. Something that I refused to do. They wanted my wife to sit on the curb out here that she refused to do.
As I was coming out, this big old drone met me.
So pause it right quick for a brief second. I just want people to know that Uhuru means freedom.
Yes.
Just so you guys know that. Okay, let's play.
Yeah. So, yeah, the FBI raided the house in Florida, targeted the director of the organization, and we'll continue.
The only revolutionary organization that's done something here on the ground practically for African people is the one that's come under attack. Institution that offers a community radio station, a newspaper, a commercial kitchen, an Aquaba Hall rental space, and community office for our organizers. That was the building that has come under attack.
It's all theater. Look at how they're in straight lines, bro. It's all theater.
Security cameras. I just want to, they literally covered the security cameras with tape or unplugged them, which is actually illegal to do, right? Or I thought it was. So
they're above the law, even though they say no one's above the law.
So if you're watching this video right now, the chances are that you're probably not a revolutionary black nationalist. We're not. Obvious.
Well, actually, Tucker, right next to me here on screen. When I saw that, I was like, I can't wait to play that on our show. I'm the only white boy in America, you know what I mean, that can play that on his podcast. Also, Since it's on Twitter, I can say it. I'm Hotep Jesus manager. You know what I'm saying? I'm the whitest black nationalist you'll ever meet. And I'm rolling with the blackest Proud Boy in America. And Alex Stein said it, so you know it's true. So anyway, let's get back to my black nationalist friend, Tucker Carlson.
Where's Tucker? Where's Tucker? Where's Tucker?
Oh, sorry.
Move community back in the 80s when the U.S. government under Bill Clinton killed all the Branch Davidians and their children at Waco, when federal agents murdered Randy Weaver.
Back it up.
I'm looking. Hold on.
Back it up. Back it up.
Backing it up.
Hit like 10 seconds.
But you may be an American, and if you are an American, or if you believe in the idea of America, you should care about this case. Why? Because of the charges. Now, typically in situations like this, when the city of Philadelphia, for example, incinerated the entire Move community back in the 80s, when the U.S. government under Bill Clinton killed all the Branch Davidians and their children at Waco, when federal agents murdered Randy Weaver's wife and child and shot his dog, there's some pretext for doing it. There's a gun charge. They were caught with bomb-making materials. There's some weird sex stuff going on. They're child pornographers. It's human trafficking. They at least bother to tell you a story that makes you stop asking more questions because you think to yourself, well, these people were obviously very bad. They did something that was a legit felony, and they probably got what was coming to them. What's so interesting about this case...
And if you're watching, please pay special attention to what's coming up. He makes a very interesting point here. And this is the Biden administration at large to me, and one of the biggest concerns we have in our federal law enforcement and court system.
Is that the government under Joe Biden is not even pretending that they did anything illegal. There's no actual crime here. No one has been charged with bomb making or hurting anyone or any act of violence, no act of embezzlement or theft. What they're charged with is liking Russia, is having opinions that the Biden administration doesn't want them to have, saying things that they're not supposed to say in public. So even if you're not a revolutionary black nationalist, you should care deeply about this case, because first they come for people like this, people on the fringe, and then they come for you. The details of the story are even more shocking than we're describing, and we're going to get them from the man at the very center of it, Amalia Yeshtello, the chairman of this group, the man now accused of being a Russian agent and about to go on trial. We're honored to have him join us now. Mr. Chairman.
All right. So just a little bit of it to, kind of show people, and I encourage people to watch more. And I want to hit a couple of highlights in a second. But, man, that's what I keep trying to say. And I think we can relate this to a larger idea back to what they're doing to Donald Trump legitimately. And that is, no matter how much you may disagree with this person, not like them, disagree with whatever, their ability to be on this planet, you understand whatever you arm the federal government to do against a citizen, you are arming them to do against you, a citizen. They've never taken power. Name me the last time the federal government took more power and then gave it back. Do you still have to take off your shoes in the airport since 9/11? You know what I'm saying? Name me the last time that the federal government passed like the wiretap agency and they wiretap less people now, right? Explain to me the time that the federal government figured out a way to take more of your money or freedom and then decided to turn it back over to you and go, okay, we fixed the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I've got nothing. I can't name one. I've got nothing.
Nothing. There's never been a time. And so maybe you don't like the African nationalist, socialist movement party. Maybe you completely disagree with them, but disagree with them in a freedom of speech, legitimate stage. Like, have a great debate. This man is great. And that's kind of what I want to show you is how great this guy is. Real fast, just to get an idea, right? So
Much for having me. This is an important interview for us. It helps us to break out of this encirclement, information encirclement that has been imposed on us by the U.S. government. And when we talk about the ignorance of the people being a factor here, part of the way to keep the people ignorant is to keep them from participating in discussion.
Yes.
Because the attack on my...
What did he just say right there? I got to back that up. I need y'all to hear that again for the people in the back.
The ignorance of the people.
We're going to get them from the man at the very center of it, Amalia Yashtello, the chairman of this group, the man now accused of being a Russian agent and about to go on trial. We're honored to have him join us now. Mr. Chairman, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me. This is an important interview for us. It helps us to break out of this encirclement, information encirclement that has been imposed on us by the U.S. government. And when we talk about the ignorance of the people being a factor here, part of the way to keep the people ignorant is to keep them from participating in discussion.
Yes.
Because the attack on my right to speak is also an attack on the right of the people to hear.
Yes.
So I have something to say. People may, as you said, agree or not agree with it, but at least they can have opinions that are informed opinions about agreeing or not agreeing with me. But when they use grenades and battering rams and armored vehicles and assault weapons and things like that to keep me from talking, and when they talk about putting me in prison for 15 years, which is the equivalent of a life sentence for me, this is designed to keep the people from hearing what I have to say. And it's a real testimony, in my opinion.
Okay, I just have to say, it's very important. This man is 80, I believe, years old. And it's just important that we make the point that black does not crack. I mean, look, he looks like he's in his 50s. The guy looks great. You know what I'm saying? So just say it. I have to lighten it up a little bit or I'm going to be so mad. You know what I mean? You understand.
Of the fragility of a social system that cannot tolerate a discussion coming from somebody from one of the most economically depressed sector of the city of St. Louis. So it's all a falsification. I wanted to say, first of all, that our lawyers, for the purpose of making this defense, had to move forward and say that even if we did what they said we did, that the First Amendment protects us. But I want to say beyond that, that they fabricated most of what they say, that they're lying. It's mostly a fabrication, and that they're politically motivated in doing what they have done because of internal crisis and crisis in the existing global system that sees forces like China and Russia, and increasingly even countries like Iran, countries like Venezuela are challenging the hegemony of a country that has held that for the longest period of time, has been the big hegemon. And so I think this is a domestic crisis that's represented by what we see happening inside this country right now, and what we see being partially responsible for it by forces around the world who are challenging the ability of the United States to continue to be the big dog here. I think that's what we're looking at. And then, of course, there's the immediate personal interests of a guy who's running for president, re-election, and who is also attempting to escape the moniker of being sleepy. So, I mean, I think these are some of the factors that informs much of what's happening right now.
What? Okay, so he said a lot right there. Boom, ex-fam in the building. We love it. To be fair, he's probably a Russian agent, just like the free market Russians are infiltrated by the FBI because Biden and Putin are colleagues working for their pimps. Hey, man, I'm not necessarily disagreeing, but I will say he makes some good points. Now, I disagree with him completely on okay, how do I say this? I disagree that Venezuela's way or Russia's way is a better way. I'll say it like that, right? But I do think that clearly the American dollar is being devalued, but that is by the poor choices we're making by getting involved in wars and allowing other countries to do deals against us because of our alignment with the wrong quote unquote allies. Pro?
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't have a disagreeing bone in my body when it comes to having better allies and making sure we have the right to make our allies, based on our informed decisions and moving forward for the betterment of what we see and we want as a people. Sometimes you're gonna link up with people that other people don't like. Then they have their reasons for not liking that person. But are they hurting you? Or do they have the ability to help you grow in a positive manner for what you see as a positive manner for you and your people? That's just a way in. And then
Well,
if you
man,
happen
and
to, if being positive for you and your people is hurting someone else, well, then that's the game you decided to play, and whatever comes your way comes your way. I think that's the freedom of choice that we were given, by God and assured by our Constitution. As the man said, even if he was responsible for espouting whatever stuff they said he spouted that was bad for him to be arrested, but the Constitution says he has the freedom of speech and he can say whatever the freak he feels like. It's when he moves forward on causing a harm party when there's a problem. But if he's just saying stuff and he's not harming any parties, then leave him alone.
or debate him intelligently, but allow them. Do not bust the man's doors wide open with flashbangs and arrest his wife and steal his property. Want to send a shout out to El Salt One in the building. El Satellite LS. Oh, LS.
ATL. Yeah.
Oh, LS in the ATL, and he's number one. Pew, 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 pew. LS in the building. George Soros is buying up radio stations like he bought DAs all over America because they don't want everyday people talking, let alone being heard. Completely agree. And then he says, DMX, I hear you. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here. I miss DMX. Rest in peace. Shout out. I love me some DMX. Love DMX. So, it's Getting Dark and Hell is Hot is one of the best records ever in the history of hip hop, in my opinion. Fight me. So, what's my man? I'm not mad at this brother, even though we disagree on economic philosophy. But what does a black conservative have to do to get some time on Tucker Carlson?
You know what, bro? Shouts out to Carbon Mike, bro. That is a very good question. You of all people should have been on Tucker Carlson with what you're facing right now in New York, bro. You should have been on Tucker Carlson. I don't know, man. Maybe you got some footage of them kicking in your door. You might need to make that go viral, or just put it online. Put it online, and we'll make it go viral right quick. And Tucker will be calling you the very next day.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure of that.
And for those of you that don't know, man, Carbon Mike's got a great story. You need to hear it. Everybody needs to hear it. That's why it needs to be on Tucker Carlson. That's why it needs to be out there, because people need to know what they're dealing with, the dangers, that kind of thing there. Shout out to Carbon Mike tuning in, by the way. Hell yeah.
No footage. No footage. Okay. Well, we're going to figure out we're going to get it. Matter of fact, we're and I'm throwing this out there because me and my partner are setting up interviews right now for Rumble on Rumble, and you will be amongst one of the first interviews that we do. So we have like 3 or 4 that we're lining up right now. You'll be in the top 3 of those 3 or 4 for sure.
Absolutely, 100%, no doubt. Carbon Mike, it would be an honor. All respect due to have you on the show, man. Speaking of black conservatives, you know what I'm saying? Let's ride into it, man, because we promised the people. I don't want them to wait too long. I feel like we just had a good, you know what I mean, an intro about how you can disagree but still respect that. So, oh man, Carbon Mike said he respect that. Yeah. I'm screenshotting that, man. When I have a dark day, I'm gonna be like, Carbon Mike got my back. How you like me now? What? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Hey, man. Next year, make sure you come to the Grifties, dude, because you're in that area. I think, right? He's in that general neck of the woods, man.
General neck of the woods, yeah. We'll get him there.
I got you, dog. So, okay. So here's the thing about this. Okay, so My girl, my boo thing,
That's his bae.
my chocolate mocha drink on a cold day.
You got a better shot at getting with her than me or Carbon Mike.
Hey, man, I'll take what I can get. It's
Now, if you was an Asian,
I mean, anyway, look. So here's the thing, man. Let's just keep rolling on that. So, man, the streets are talking about this Candace Owens move.
Yeah, it is.
Dealt with a little bit, but it hasn't gone away. In fact, I'm surprised, man. I know people not really even involved in politics drop some info on this on their Facebook, 100 comments, 50 comments, that kind of thing there. And I feel like there's two different kinds of I feel like there's kind of two conversations going on. There's, the streets and how they feel about it, and then there's the business move. Start out with the business move, because I think that's one we can pretty much find common ground on, which this is a good business move for her. As far as business move goes, anytime you can get your money, that you can get less people in between you and your money, especially if you know what I mean, they're the redacted folks. The less they're involved in your cash, the better off you're gonna be. And clearly she was not able to say what she wanted to say, be who she wanted to be. She's gonna make millions and millions of dollars doing it how she wants to do it now, having her own studio, go on the Tucker Carlson route, actually.
Yep.
So in that way, if that's what you want, if you want to be independent, run your own thing, say what you want to say, produce the content you want to produce, and still be rich doing it, I think she won there. I think she's going to retain a big audience and be fine. In fact, I'll say a lot of people tuned in to her show on the Daily Wire just to watch her. And they didn't really care about other content on the Daily Wire. She was a leader, a lost leader, as they say. So as she goes and does her own thing, she's going to retain her own audience. That's what I'm saying about that.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree. She definitely, showed why she won Grifter of the Year last year. She is definitely putting out that grifty work, that good old, content to where people are going to click and search her name and want to see her. And if that's your grift and your move to get money, well then, hey, you get that money, honey. But to some of us, it ain't all about the money. Do we need money? Yes. We need money to do what we need to get done. But the thing is, what are you getting done with that money?
She's doing amazing things. That's the key, though.
What amazing things.
So the real debate, I think, is she a net positive for the so, and we'll do a category subcategory, right? Is she a net positive for the overall conservative movement in America, even on a commercial level, right? And then is she good for the Black conservative movement in America? Net positive, net negative. So Carbon, I knew Carbon. I'm about to get come at here. I'm about to get come at, and that's fine. I'll hold my own, man. This is so much easier than the reparate. Woo!
Yeah.
This is so much easier. We're just fighting over a girl. You know what I mean? I'm used to it. Let's go.
It's good. Net negative, bro. I feel like it's a for the overall movement. I really think it's a net negative, especially for trying to get more people, more Black people, as they say they're trying to do, especially because, like, again, we have to remember, as they talk about 2020, right? 2020 was lost, right? Because the Black community came out and voted heavily for Biden. That's the guys that they use. Remember, all the ballot stuffing that we saw, it was Black people putting ballots in those boxes, all right? When we look in Atlanta and what was going on with the multiple ballots being counted, it was Black people who did that, all right? So they were able to use that on the backs of Blacks and hide and say, yeah, y'all help. Woo, Black women, y'all did it. Y'all pushed Biden through, right? And now that shift is breaking. They're like, they can't hide behind the Blacks anymore, because where the Blacks were saying get rid of Biden, now the Blacks have saying, where the Blacks were saying get rid of Trump, we don't need Trump, he's got to go. The Blacks are now saying Joe got to go. All right. So you have people saying Joe got to go. We're looking at going to Trump. We're looking at this, that, and the third. They already have a negative preconceived notion on Candace Owens because of the things that she said, the past that she has. Now you have her coming out who has said all this stuff, and she's being thrown in their face. They're already looking at possibly going over there, but now she's being thrown in their face, and they're like, "Y'all really throwing her in my face?" I would have rather you got um uh 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 my girl Auntie Angie, right? I would have rather you got Mods Toure. You could have put so many other people up on that platform, but you put her. And in the hood is saying, no, not fucking with her. I can't believe y'all put her in front of me. And they're gonna walk away from thinking about moving conservatively.
Okay. He says leading with the insult is the dumbest strategy ever invented, and that's what Kendio specializes in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what you're saying is all negative, and I'm not going to disagree that that is a sentiment out there. And that might even be the majority of the sentiment out there, but we're talking net gain, right? And what I'm seeing is people who don't pay attention to the conservative movement, aren't conservative, that are putting out there, hey, I'm actually checking out Candace Owens now because she brought fire on the Breakfast Club. You know what I'm saying? So
she bought fire that any sane person would say easily. She said no different anything outside of the color thing, which is freaking retarded. But she didn't say anything that I haven't said on a day-to-day basis.
okay, but that's not we're not.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, because you're saying she brought fire. You're
To the
saying
Breakfast Club. Think about the venue.
What I'm saying is she brought no different fire than anyone who's Black conservative. Carbon Mike can go say the same thing. Carbon Mike can go and say this hip hop music is destroying our people. Carbon Mike can go in there and say LBJ said that I'll have these niggers voting Democrat for the next 200 years, and these niggers are getting, or could go deeper and say these niggers are getting too uppity, and they've got their white counterparts that are helping them, so we got to give them a little bit so they can simmer down and get lulled to sleep, so they can't take their power and do too much. You know what I'm saying? That is what that is the fire that she brought that anyone can. It was the fact that she was platformed. She is the insultist, right? She is clickbaitable, right? She is clickbaitable for people to come and watch or want to see what she has to say or talk about the fact that she was on the Breakfast Club. I don't see her actually bringing more people over because they don't feel like again, we need in Georgia, we need blacks. I talked about this on my show Friday. We need blacks. Blacks are 50% of the vote in Georgia. All right. If you have those people getting ready to sway over and vote a particular way, but then their emotions, because she also talked about the emotion of the black person, right? When you talk about the emotion of the black person, they will look at her and say, screw her, screw them. I don't even want to deal with them because she's just throwing me off from them because the people over there think like her because they platform her and they up her to this high level. And I don't want to be around those people. So I'm going to vote for the couch. And that's why I am in the side of net negative because we need those numbers in our win. Okay. So
she's bringing.
She's turned more. The white women that we're talking about that she's bringing over now is the same white women who voted for him. And remember, Trump.
She's bringing black. There are black women talking about her on my stream, on my feed, and it's not like I'm in the deepest part of black woman Twitter or black woman Facebook.
Okay.
I'm just not, and that's okay. But
I want you to platform that, right? That you're not in the blackest spaces. Okay.
But that's my point. Okay, but hear me. Just hear me. That's my point. Is that I'm on the outside and I'm still seeing, women I know that are black women. You know what I mean? That are active in their communities that either are apolitical or probably lean a little more democratic, and they're saying, I'm interested now in what Candace Owens has to say. women who don't get that much interaction on their streams. And now all of a sudden, boom, they've got 60, 80 people. And some people, there was this one dude, he will remain nameless because he's a local superstar, he's a rapper, owns his own restaurant, all of this. But no one could say anything good about Candace. I mean, no one could say anything good about her. Anyone would be like, I like what she says 25% of the, or, the problem is how she says things, but she does speak some truth. And he's like, yeah, but she said this, but what about that? But what about this? Here's my issue there. We care so much that we feel like Candace Owens took the wrong side of the George Floyd argument. But rappers can talk about murdering other rappers every day, all day, and we're totally cool with it.
No,
but
there are people.
But that's not what people. That's not what's upsetting people. I'm saying we're deciding Candace isn't allowed to say one or two things we don't like, and we're not. And she's bad for the party, even though she allows and also cover. She gives cover because it allows a dialogue to open up. Is she perfect? No. Has she done it right the whole time? No. Have I agreed with everything she said? No. But she's getting a platform that we're not getting. And we cannot like that scenario, but we've got to value that it is a scenario that's happening, right? And if we're so upset over some of the stuff she said and feels like, well, she's not doing enough for, black folks because she's stood with more white conservative folks on things, which is the case. And I will agree with you. I will not fight that. But look at the people that we're currently putting up in the black culture. You're telling me that she's not the lesser of the two evils?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
you're saying that if
not.
your kid had a chance to idolize Sexy Red or Candace Owens, and those were the only two options, which one would you decide? Which one would you want her to emulate in life?
Neither.
A successful woman?
Neither.
Man,
because
stop. Stop.
I'm going to say neither because, again, first of all, now let's go ahead and platform it. If we're talking about my children having to look up to a Sexy Red or a Candace Owens, my children, right? Their father who has an internet radio station to platform better music, their father who actually makes music, makes positions for better musicians to handle business, right? To remove a Sexy Red, right? Or a woman who has treated their father with disdain. The same woman who says that we need to protect black men. We need to make sure black men have respect. Black men are here to protect and defend us. And then the same black men that you say need to have that platform, you in turn respond to said black men in a position of, oh my God, I need defense from them, when this person is telling you that, hey, they got deplatformed for defending you. And you're the same one who say they need defending. Neither. I would rather my daughter not look up to neither woman at all, and I teach her how to be the woman that other little girls look up to, because I'm not going to platform neither, because just as she said in her interview where she believes T.I. was a performer, I believe that Candace Owens is indeed a performer herself. Well, Pro, why do you think she's a performer herself? Because Pro has been in multiple rooms with Candace Owens. Again, when her reaction to where she felt as though she needed to be protected from a protocol who's in his Sunday's best, who just walked across the threshold of the White House, experiencing experience that he may never, well, I don't know, I may experience it one time again when Trump gets back in office. But if I die tomorrow, in my legacy, I went to the White House with Trump, right? And we went there together. We just walk across the threshold, and I tell you that a man defending you, a woman that he's never met, and my point to introduce himself to you, you respond to me as if you needed to be protected from me, but then you get on a space and say, hey, these people here, we need to defend and protect them so they can be in the families and better their families and do things for black kids and black families. No, you're a performer because you do not live that. And the way that you talk is as if you've been living that. This time span of this happening was within the time span of you saying that you're going to live that. I cannot platform that, all right? I cannot platform that. When I see you as a person who's of intellectual, I'm glad that Dave Chappelle said she is the what he said, the most idiotic intellectual he's ever met. What was it? The dumbest, something along those lines, right? I can say that Dave Chappelle isn't wrong because I myself witnessed her in referring and talking about a coup d'etat, right? If you look back in October 3rd, October 4th, October 5th, that is when the subpoenas came down for Donald Trump going towards his impeachment, right? The subpoenas and stuff came down in that first week of October. They were talking about a coup, a coup d'etat. Everybody was talking about a coup. Candace Owens was talking about a coup. Candace Owens didn't say coup, though. Candace Owens said coupe. In reading coup, because if you have a vehicle, you have sedans and you have coupes. And they're coupe for,
I
when
know,
talking about the
and
cars.
it
All
has to
right.
do with how it's spelled, and it's a
The
French term. I
coupe
know.
is the same
Come on,
coup
man. I
d'etat.
know.
I know you do, but I'm not just talking to you. We're talking to,
All right,
to all the watchers, right? We got
all
watchers.
right.
Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. We're talking to the watchers here. You know what I'm saying? You
I
just
know.
happen to be my sparring partner. This coup is spelled the same way, essentially, right? And she was reading it. She was given a script to learn. She didn't know what she was talking about when it came to coup d'etat, because if she did, then she would call it a coup d'etat. But instead, you call it a coupe, right? Like you're talking about a vehicle or you're talking about a chicken coop, a coupe, right? You're giving things to say and you're not truly educated on the thing. You are indeed, my dear, a performer. And it's good to be a performer if you're going to be a performer. But don't be trotted in front of me as this intellectually honest person, because you are not. Okay? You are not intellectually honest. You're good at what you do. You say some good points, but you're not intellectually honest. So I'm not going to platform you. I'm appreciative of you saying things where people can digest it and swallow it. I am appreciative of that. You're a good actress and you get people to pay attention. But hopefully that leads into you finding a protocol. That leads into you finding a carbon mic. That leads into you finding a that's just,
We'll get to the
mint
chats in a
green
second, man. I'm not stepping
mint
on you.
green coupe de ville.
I know. I know.
That's
We'll
funny.
get to, we got a lot
I'll
of
just
chats to hit.
they're bussing, but like no, Shotty, I can't get down with that. I'm sorry. I appreciate it, but I'm not giving you that space. You just
And
not.
that's fair. And I'll leave you with this, man. We'll pick it back. I want to see what them streets are talking about in our chat. But here's the thing: is that all you did was give me a bunch of reasons why you personally don't like this woman, and that's fair. And you're allowed to have those. That is not a general somebody exposed to millions and millions of people, net positive or net negative, for a movement and or party. It doesn't mean she's a nice person. Once again, I'm sure if you met a lot of your celebrity heroes, you would find that they're not very nice people, but it doesn't mean that they don't make a difference for the overall better. You meet a lot of people that you're kind of disappointed in, quite honestly, when you get to that level. You know that. Come on, man.
And that's why. But see, guess what? I'm Mr. Nigga. Check you at the door. You not finna come to me with the fake. Ain't no. You know what? You remember what my jacket say?
No,
Ain't
I know. Look,
bakery
I know.
in the bakery, bro.
Bro,
So
suffers no fools, man. I
suffers
know,
none,
man.
bro. None. So because again, bro, I have to be compared to her. Okay, I have to be questioned about her, right? So how you say, oh, hey, I'm on the outside and I'm seeing these few people who are saying, hey, I like Candace, I like this, that, and the third, right?
No, what I'm seeing
I'm
is
getting no, I'm saying, like I said, you're looking in and you're seeing people say that, right? But I'm dealing with everyday people who is saying, young Dro, man, fuck that bitch. You know what I'm saying? And it's consistent streams of people I have seen. For every one person that I have seen, and I'm black with a whole lot of the black spear is real. Okay,
no,
right?
you're
So
not.
now,
Get out of here.
hey man, listen, I'm the blackest proud boy in America. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, you are. Pew, 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 pew. Here's to it. Water in the cup.
Like, and for every one person that I'm seeing that they say like Candace, because I'm not saying that I haven't seen some people who've said, hey, I may want to check out what I am not saying that I haven't seen that at all. Okay, just put that on the record. I have seen it. But for every one that I have seen 7 that says F her.
So,
Okay, I've seen 7 that said
but are these
we're
the
not
same
dealing
people
with
that
her.
would have?
I don't care. Are they
Are
the same?
these the same
Yes,
people that would have said F her before? That's what
yes,
I'm saying. So, out of the
yes.
1 out of 7 that wouldn't have known about her or would have just
Mm-hmm,
been like, people say F her, so F her, now they're listening. That's 1
mm-hmm,
out of 7. If she gets a 10%, just so you know, in entertainment, if she gets a 1 out of 10, she gets a 10% pull rate, what they call pull rate,
mm-hmm.
meaning 10% of all the people that are seeing her and off of her current trending end up following her, liking her posts, liking her. That is a game changer in the industry. And I think that right now people are looking because we know that the classic media is falling apart. People don't want to watch CNN. People don't want to watch MSNBC. Most of the time, people don't even want to watch Fox or
Mm-hmm.
any of this because they know it's all trash.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I believe, folks like you, shout out Hotep Jesus. You know what I mean? Folks like Cannon, shout out Cannon. That's why I feel like as we go down this road, truth is going to be valuable. Truth is going to be the gold. And even if you disagree with people, and even if
She
you're
ain't the
wrong
truth.
to a certain extent, it's coming from a place of truth and a place of research and understanding. And you're willing to debate that. You're willing to stand 10 toes, which nobody is. And I believe that's the value.
Man, if
Now,
I walk up to a black woman and I say, I know that if I walk up to a person from the South, or I'm just gonna say a black person, fuck it, and I say God is good, and they don't know to say all the time,
all the
you know what I'm saying? If they don't know to say all, uh, amen, God is good, amen. No, no. But I'm supposed to hear you, you know what I'm saying? Oh, well, the black family is this, and the black family needs this, and you can't even walk in the black family door because if they say God is good and you don't say all the time, they shutting the door in your face. You know what I'm saying? Because I am, nope, not
right.
accepting you. You are fake. I don't know what wizardry you are, but you ain't other people. And you can't talk, man. Um, and but see, like, so Carbon Mike, and here's the thing, bros, you know what I'm saying, and Carbon Mike just said it, and that's where I am, you know what I'm saying, in the understanding with this is I've been over on in this conservative game for a long time. So people get hurt, and when people get hurt, and then when they done and they don't, it's like Hitler, right? You know what I'm saying? You can't say
Right.
Hitler says good things because Hitler has done some horrible atrocities that it doesn't matter what you say about Hitler. He's done horrible atrocities that people are not going to pay attention to any of the good stuff that you've done. All right. When it comes to her, she is Hitler-ish to a lot of black people. It doesn't matter what you say. I'm not saying no
Literally
thing,
Hitler
but
now.
no, I'm not calling her. I said Hitler-ish
No, I
to
know.
black
I'm
people.
just saying
You
you're
know what I'm
using the
saying?
hit.
Like, no,
Come on, man.
I don't have like I'm talking about as far as the hate. I'm not saying, she's genocidal and she's hellish. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we can say, me and you can honestly sit here and say, hey man, Hitler had some some bomb ass technology. That nigga went and got some great ass goddamn scientists and engineers and was pushing forth some amazing stuff. And we know this to be true because Operation Paperclip happened. You feel me? And
Hugo
those
Boss and Nike. Come on, man. Hugo
no,
Boss and Nike. He
come on.
forced. Come
So,
on, but
and that's but that's what I'm saying though.
shame
Like
on me.
we know there's
Jesus,
some good
forgive me. I'm sorry.
things. There's some good things that he was able to bring forth and to do so much that we use them on a day-to-day basis. But people will never tell you that Hitler used it. People will never tell you that Hitler was the boss of it. You know what I mean? Because he is such that bad of a person that they have to separate the two and just platform this and denounce the fact that Hitler was a part of it. So now you have black people who truly look at it in that lens, just in that same spectrum that people analyze and look at that, they look at her, right? Like she is like Hitler-ish. It doesn't matter what good she has done. She's said so much negative. She's caused so much hurt and pain to those people that they will never deal with her. All right. They will do what they have to do to platform to bring down anything that she has to do, wants to do, speaks on, or anything of that nature, man. It's just and that's where the net negative comes in when it to getting working class black people into the GOP, because like she has that stain. Like it's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I can understand why they feel that way. You know what I mean? Like I can feel that way. I can see it when I listen to a woman talk and say, black family this, black family that, black family this, black men, black kids, the black family, the black structure, the black this, the black that. And they say, okay, well, we hear you say all of this about black, and we understand, but you married a white husband and you have mixed kids. Oh, I don't look at my family as mixed. I don't look at my husband as white. We don't look at that over here. But you're looking at everyone else in that lens. But when it comes to you and your own house, you don't look at your own house that way. You feel me?
But see, you got to understand, not everybody in the world thinks marrying a person not of your race is a bad thing, dude.
I'm not saying
they don't
that
think it disqualifies you from speaking on any topic.
We're not saying that. We're not saying that. And that is nowhere near what the heck I just said out my mouth. What I said was, you tell me black, and everything you see with this is black in the family structure. And then they ask you about your family structure and you say, I don't look at color. I don't look at that when it comes to my family. But you're looking at this way. How can you look at our families through a lens of color, and you're supposedly trying to help and do with us with our families through a lens of color, but when we ask you about you and your lens of color, you tell me you don't look at it that way, but then in the same breath you say, hey, but everything I do is from lived experience or known experience, and then it's like, but I come from a black man. My granddad was a black man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that part.
Or is she saying stuff that is true that's not allowed to be said, but she can say it because she is black? And then you're saying, no, she's not allowed to say it because no one's allowed to say it. You know what I mean? And that's the problem.
We're not saying that.
And even if you disagree with her, there are things I can't even say. And I wouldn't. But, I believe everything needs to be heard, as much as a black socialist, and the African Socialist Party talking about how America is overall failing and communism is the way. I believe it needs to be heard. I disagree, but you know what I'm saying? So and in addition to that, man, I hate it's something I realize as I try to study other cultures around the world is that, man, the one thing we lack in communication in America right now is honesty. And we used to have it. I was allowed to say I didn't like you. Period. You know what I mean? And you were allowed to say, well, I don't like you either. And then we went along about our business. We worked on the same damn assembly line, or we worked on the same car. You know what I mean? I was doing the tires. You were doing the alignment, whatever the case, right? It's like, I don't like you and you don't like me. And that's whatever. But man, we got to get this car done because we know crappy cars on this road in the community we share. This person could die or their kids could die. And whether we like each other or not, we don't hate each other. You know what I mean? But now the problem is not liking is now hating. And this is kind of a side thing. And I think people should have a right. And I think she should have a right just as much as, NBA Youngboy has a right to say, I'll shoot somebody in the face if they test me. She should have a right to say, even if I disagree, things about, the black community, because she is black, right? And even if she's married to a white person, her concern about black communities shouldn't go unfounded because she's married to a white dude. I don't see how that disqualifies her. And if she says, I don't see color in this, in that, they go, what was the context, right? Was it, you're not allowed to speak on these things because you're married to a white man? And she goes, I'm not seeing color when I'm married to this man. I'm talking about national crime statistics or fatherhood statistics or voting demographic statistics. And you're telling me I'm not allowed to speak on these things because I'm married to a white man. And that's that liberal game that we're not playing. That's woke conservatism, just like woke liberalism, right? It's like, because you don't fit this role or mold, you're disqualified from speaking on these things.
Well, that is
so
what Republicans do.
Right, but that's what all the political sides do. But it was just like, I saw this dude who's very popular and he would not allow anyone to like her. And it's like, okay, and this dude is extremely liberal. And I'm like, okay, well, honestly, here's my rule. If both sides are hating on you and trying to shut you down, either you're literally Hitler or you're making valid points. Now, whether you've made valid points or said stupid stuff in the past, you have a right to speak. And if you just so happen to be so good at it that millions of people will listen and platform you, and now you're saying stuff that needs to be heard, good. right? Here's the thing. To us, like you were saying before, and like that person that, you know, we deal with in our world a little bit, you know, is like just rah-rahing up the cheerleaders doesn't do nothing. You know what I mean? A pep rally is not nothing. Coming in and going, you know, white Republicans suck and they don't care about Black America. Yeah, you tell them. Well, yeah, no, we all know that. That it's been that way since almost the beginning of time, right?
Mhm.
No bullshit. So, pardon my language, but okay, so there's that, right? But her blowing Charlemagne's mind, you know what I mean? Her shutting them down. When you saw him go after Vivek, right? And they treated him like he was stupid, saying the same stuff she was saying. And them shutting them going, well, we agree, to the point of they had nothing to come back on, which was surprising because if there's one thing that show is good at, it's shredding conservative folks. Like I would that show, like you're like the
Depends
only
on the conversation.
literally, yeah, you're the only person I know that I would comfortably that I work with that if they were like send us a guy, you know, you would be the guy. You know what I mean? Because I mean, and it's not even Charlemagne; it's that one chick that he has on that just destroys.
No. That's but see that was just hilarious. You know what I'm saying? And just hilarious is highly different than Tez. They didn't have Tez on, and I wish that they had Tez. Teslin should have been on this show. I hate Teslin, by the way. You know what I mean? But
I think they knew better than to put Tez and Candace on the same. You wouldn't.
Yeah, they wasn't going to do it.
It would explode. Yeah,
it wouldn't have worked. You know what I mean? But it's not hard. Again, you know, she didn't say anything out of the ordinary that regular people haven't been saying. You know what I mean? Like, and that's my whole point. And she's right. It doesn't take much to blow Charlemagne's mind.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, okay.
Especially when it's offered.
To me, Candace and Charlemagne kind of fill the same role of they are really good at talking about things they don't understand, or they act smarter and or deeper than their actual level. Like I feel like they're on the same level there. Like Charlemagne acts like he's way deeper and way smarter than he is, and you dig, you're like, he's not that smart at all. You know, I mean, he's just saying stuff. So it's maybe like Candace, but anyway. Man, let me hit some chats real fast, man. Let me take a breath. We're gonna take a 5 or let you come back at me. But we got a lot of okay, so we're gonna start with LS talking about we need to see and hear Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, Cobb County Police Precinct body cam interview with Harrison Floyd and Trevion Cootie. Absolutely. Fuego says there are disenchanted. What up, Fuego? Fuego in the building. Pew, 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 pew. There are disenchanted leftists like Candace, but I can see the argument. She's not helping on net. All right. That's what he thinks. LS, Candace Owens' interview with a vampire rabbi about definition of anti-Semitism and his attacking her was brilliant. She didn't back up and she pushed back. I agree. She knew that interview was the nail in her coffin. She knew she was on thin ice. And love her or hate her, you got to respect she did not hold back on that thing. And she did not apologize once. And she didn't try to backtrack, which is more than I can say for a lot of folks. So racemen like me have been making these conservative observations since Candy O was in high school cheerleading squad. Come on now, brother. That is fair, Carbon Mike. That is fair. PT Pot is listening to inside baseball arguments and making them for Vox Populi. Working class people don't like any of these blackface PayPal conservatives. You can't handle the truth loaded up?
Handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Yeah. False choice, he says. When we were talking about who would you rather. So my man Jonah says, like I said, she ain't getting in Hotepistan, but her app is getting deep infiltrated. I am defecting. Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? So Candace Owens or Fannie Willis. Exactly. That was my point. You better preach, but that was when
Candace
you were
Owens
cooking
Fannie
me
Willis, Candy Owens or Candy Owens or Fannie Willis. Still neither.
Neither. But if neither's not the choice, man, you don't get to go. I'm bringing in a third option.
Neither is always the choice.
Anyway.
It is always a choice. I don't have to say either of those names. I can no Espanol.
So what do you think about that? That is a pretty interesting one. From Carbon Mike. Conservative minstrelsy is still minstrelsy. What does that one do for you?
A minstrel artist is still a minstrel artist, whether they're Sexy Red, whether it's Candace Owens, whether it's uh, what the dang on girl name is, Suki with the good coop. It doesn't matter, man. A minstrel show is a minstrel show.
Yeah. No, coupe is masculine, coup is feminine. All right. I had a mint green Coupe de Ville Cadillac. That's beautiful. I want one. Let's get it. Go LS. My man Troublemaker says, and you forgot me with truth? Now you bring the truth all the time, Jonah. Carbon Mike says, it's not a game changer in the industry if she pulls 10%. Candace Owens has done nothing to fix the terrible reputation of the GOP among working class people.
It's true. Look, bro, where's Blexit? Right?
Let me
Where's
okay
Blexit?
for
And this is from a black. This is from an insider. Pull up my video. It's on
I
her
know,
page.
man. I'm with you. Here's the thing. Look, people are dropping I don't know what that. Look, that's a whole nother topic that we really need to dig into. Is who the hell is dropping the ball on the? And see, that's Laura Trump and them now. But
No.
You want to talk about dropping the ball right now? You have black people in the streets going, I'm voting for Trump. Where's the fucking outreach? Where's the rallies? Where's the promo?
It's happening right. Like that has to understand. Do you know what just happened? What, a week ago? 2 weeks? When did Laura Trump take over the RNC?
When we were at Grifty's, I think it was that week. So 2 weeks ago.
So what? Let's say 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
They went in there, they fired everybody. Right? Major layoff happened in the RNC. While this was happening, black organizers were meeting in Mar-a-Lago. That's why I told you what is coming down the pipeline.
Yeah.
They are organizing. You're about to see something like you've never seen before. You had Trump RNC controlled by the deep state elitists. And now you have Trump RNC controlled by Trump and his people, and he moves the way that he wants to move. This is going to be a completely different move when it comes to an election cycle, when it comes to people that are going to make things happen. Just get ready, because we coming. That's why we hitting with these podcasts. That's why we moving. We getting the people in the spirit of understanding Joe got to go, and we got to rock with Trump. And we have these people who we like, that do like Trump, that can say what needs to be said to get me to get over and vote for him. And once we get them to vote for him, we're also working on them to understand the party apparatus. That's why I was at my county convention yesterday. That's why I'm the third vice chairman of my party's executive board, right? I'm something like a string puller in my party. We're getting ready for district and state convention. Like, I'll be the Republican whisperer. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the conservative whisperer. I just need you guys to be the precinct chairs so we can get the vote out in our particular neighborhoods. These people that have been voting Democrat for so long, we need to activate our precincts so we can get out the vote for the people to vote for us. So don't worry. We're here, and we're getting the policy together, and we're getting the communication right. And I'm going to be one of the ones knocking on these people's doors and having barbecues and having a conservative conversation in a way that they can be spoken to. You know what I mean? I'll be the one doing that. So you won't see Protocol in a breakfast club, but you'll see Protocol at a breakfast event that he's throwing inside his neighborhood. Can I get an amen?
Pew, 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 pew. Protocol in the building. That's what I'm talking about. DJ Protocol.
The greatest DJ.
So here's the thing about it, Carbon Mike, is that, you know, I think we sometimes got to temper our expectations, and you got to crawl before you walk. Has she done much to fix the terrible reputation among working? No, not at all. I 100% agree with you. But I also believe that if she leads people to she leads people to a Protocol, to a Hotep Jesus, if she leads people down the path and they arrive at you, then that is doing something to fix it. And sometimes you can't let good be the enemy of perfect, right? To quote the gay Barack Obama. All right, so Stalin was your ally, he says, because unemployment went from 30% to non-existent in 6 years. Well, you know, hey, look, yeah, you know, whatever works, brother. Fred Hampton and Rainbow Coalition before Jesse Jackson stole it. She's just a progressive. I am Creamfield. I don't count, but still passing. So my opinion. Okay. Carbon Mike doesn't take much to blow Charlemagne's mind. Come on, he is right. Jonah says Charlemagne is a retard. He named himself after Charlemagne. Right? Name yourself after Charlemagne. Charlemagne, what are you doing? Jonah, Candy was calling NAACP not the cheerleading squad. Her family is freak. Oh, Fanny is a freak. Yeah. It needed to have G Master 11. What's good? And then protocol. Don't work so hard. Just buy SE union workers in the retirement home. I do you know what that? Help me with that one. I'm confused there on that one.
Ballot harvest in the nursing homes.
Yeah. Don't. Oh, yes, correct. See, Jonah on top of it. Jonah on the. Yeah. Don't try to get actual people to vote. You know what I mean? Just go get those old folks to sign their ballots off to you, and you really don't even need to do that anymore. You just need whoever. So, and here's the question, man. We've gone into it more than once, but you have hard black and white evidence that votes were counted. Over 1,000 votes were counted in one precinct in one county that had 0 registered voters, oddly. Yet there were over 1,000 votes counted. Who's counting those, man? As we have heard many a time by our fearless leader, it's about who counts the votes. Who is counting those and who is not holding those people accountable for that? I mean, isn't that what the word accountable? It has count in it, meaning I'm holding you accountable for your counting. So, you know what I'm saying? And maybe you could address this because you're a pro at it, literally. And then on a greater scale, like in the specific county situation you were in and know about, who's responsible there, and then to a greater extent, who is responsible in letting this shit happen? That's something that I think we should know so we can put our eyes towards them, right? Hell, I voted in Georgia. Yeah, I voted like 4 times in Georgia. So
2 other time zones. This is way across the map.
Yeah.
Lord. You in the snow. You in Canada's butthole, and we down here in America's. Jeez. Anyway, so the voters, oh man, it's not the poll workers. It's the ballot counters. They work for, and I can't think of their actual name, but they work for the Board of Elections, right? They're volunteers. They go in and they count. You have adjudicators. You have a whole bunch of people that sit down in there counting the votes. It's just regular everyday people. That's where your Shay Mosses and your Ruby Freemans come into play. Regular everyday people that volunteer their time to go in and be a part of the election process. Well, if you have a whole bunch of disenfranchised people who just like, man, screw that, I'm not going to go fill these jobs. But you got a whole bunch of people who really hate a particular person and will do anything to go and make sure that person doesn't win again. These people are going and filling in these jobs. And the people who are over them typically are the ones who think and move just like them in these areas, because these were heavy Democrat areas where these things took place, right? Which mean that there was Democrats who were running it. There were Democrats who were working it. You may have a few Republicans sprinkled in and out, but they would do things like, oh, we got a water main break. Got to shut it down, y'all. See you in the morning. Hey, let's go out the parking lot. They gone. All right, come on. Pull that, get the stuff from under the table. And they're all working together and doing that, right? You got the people in Detroit, all Democrats working. You got people watching, paying attention. Hey, man, somebody go get some poster boards and put them up on the windows. When the people think like you, are above you, and y'all are on the same page, amazing things can happen. And that's what happened in Wisconsin and Detroit and Georgia and Fulton and Chatham and all these other places, because the people were on the same team, man. So there are people in your county. I suggest you get involved with your Board of Elections and find out who is doing it in your county, because every county is arranged differently. Like, I'm in a county where our Board of Registrars and our Board of Elections are 2 separate entities, 2 separate offices, and everywhere else in this state, they're one entity. So, get in contact with your board of elections and find out what their process is.
Right, for sure. Um, and that's kind of the brilliance of it, because kind of what there's no one person that you can look to. There's no one guy you can go, hey, you're responsible for this. And you go to prison for life, and everyone in your office is accountable and will go to prison as well if we find out that this stuff isn't right. So, and we're going to arm you with the power of the federal government. But instead, they arm the people listening to people on Twitter and doing podcasts, with the power of the federal government. So, man, that's messed up. Hardcore. Oh, and thank you for sharing that, man. So, and moving into that, and speaking of voting, it looks like, by all practical numbers, even if they were to try to cheat in the same way that we think they tried in previous elections, it still wouldn't matter, because Trump is leading that hardcore, right? He's got that big of a lead over Biden currently. Have you heard that as well?
Man, I'm gonna be real. I don't care about them polls no more. I don't care about them polls no more. I'll be comfortable. I'm gonna tell you when I'll be comfortable with, oh hell yeah, we got this shit in the bag, right? Around the country there used to be Trump parades on the waterways, Trump parades on the highways, just miles of cars of people with Trump flags and stuff, right? When I start seeing that in the hood, right? When I see inner cities with Trump flags and cars and honking for Trump and turning up, then I'll be more comfortable with the polls. But until then, I'm not trusting those polls. I'm going to get out here and I'm going to create the hood Trump rallies and the hood Trump parades. You know what I mean? Like,
Hell
I'm
yeah.
going to have people out here with the flags flying on their car,
The Trump wings. Was it the
Yes.
Trump wings you were making?
Trump
Yeah.
wings, yes. We're gonna have the Trump chicken flowing. We're gonna have we're gonna have these block parties, and we're gonna be talking about the policies that, hey, this policy and this part right here can help, better the hood. This right here can help better a school. This can help better your house. Under Trump, from 2017 to 2018, there was a 400% increase in black business ownership in just his first year. From 17 to 18, a 400% increase in black business ownership. This is what he did, and this is what he had further in play that will happen if we get him back in office. These are the things that I want to get out here to these people. We're going to get these policies in these streets. We're going to have people literally stomping for Trump.
Hell yeah. My man LS says, Rob, the Pitts Fulton County Commission Chair, and Richard Robert Barron Fulton, County Elections Director, announced that State Farm Arena water main break live and lied on Fox 5 locally. What do you know about that?
So that was the water main break, and they keep saying State Farm, but it was at the Georgia Congressional Center, which is like, they're all connected, right? But most people just say, State Farm, and they just go with State Farm. But it was at the Georgia Congress Center, and they said the water main broke in around like 5 o'clock. No, maybe 3, somewhere between 3 and 5. They said it was a water main break, and they shut down the counting that was going on at the Board of Elections, or at the Congress Center for voting. And when they shut that down, then that's when they did the whole vote thing up in Fulton County in Atlanta when it came to Trump. So when he was, when Ruby Freeman, and it was like, oh, he was messing with a witness, whatever the case may be, the witness is, was caught on tape. And she was actually willing to say that, hey, okay, we lied, we did X, Y, Z. And Biden and them got to her and said, "Bitch, you better not say nothing. Y'all better keep it quiet. We're gonna invite y'all to the White House and give y'all the award. Y'all better shut up, or you gonna be on the list. I got Hillary on speed dial."
Right, that criminal syndicate is real. So, all right, man. So, and I gotta hit you with, and I gotta ask you, I gotta ask you about this one, man. As we talk about this, and clearly there's a lot of good reasons to that you give to vote for Trump that I completely agree with. And yeah, but I know you're out there in these streets, and I know you talk to these people, and then I'm out here trying to, watch it from a TV level, an uninformed. I really find it's important to approach things from an uninformed voter point of view because, like it or not, that's the majority of voters. They're voting on headlines, 3-minute clips, right? Especially once they dial into their news, that's who they watch forever. The news knows this and plays on it, right? So, the simple question, why vote for Biden? Why is anyone other than, okay, and here's the one thing I can say that I would understand, right? You've been conditioned to hate Trump, and you hate him so bad, you feel it is some sort of moral victory to vote Biden in or to more likely see Trump lose, which is why you're cheering on all this illegal court stuff going on as well, because the idea is just to hand this man an L and anyone that follows him an L because you want to see these people lose. And it's a evil, moral, bloodthirsty thing you have in you. That I can understand, right? In a way. I mean, I can understand. I don't agree with it, but I can understand that's why you would vote for Biden. But what are your people in your streets saying, man? The folks that are supporting this guy and are 10 toe. What are you hearing? And I know we can, dispel a lot of stuff on my end, but what are you hearing about that?
We can't let that evil man Trump back in office because he's Putin puppet, and Biden got experience, see, because he was in there 8 years with Obama, and he's not doing a bad job because he's a good president, and Kamala is his vice president, and she's the first black woman vice president, so we got to keep them in office, and I think he's doing a good job, and we can't have the racist Putin puppet get back in office, and yeah. And I ain't black if I don't vote for Biden.
Yeah, that's true. Well, he told you. He'll tell you whether
Come on, man. Check my
that old rich white man will tell you whether you're black or not. And that's another thing about the Candace Owens thing, just to kind of bring it all back around. So much of it has to do with the plantation and straying off the plantation. To put this on Facebook, I was like, after seeing the Candace Owens response, the one thing I can say is that the Democratic plantation is real. Because I see a lot of, like I said, mainly what I've seen is a few women who are non-political or Democratic leaning saying, I'm interested in what this woman has to say. And she gets attacked by people who feel like it's their personal mission to make sure that no one ever listens to Candace Owens. And what I'm saying is you understand there's going to be a backlash to that. And you can only tell people what they can and can't listen to and hear for so long, right? Mm-hmm. So there is that. But so there's not a lot of arguments. I mean, what about financial struggle? Because here's what I'm hearing is that unemployment is low. And as we know, and I'll blow these numbers up, right? Unemployment is low because after 2 years, you're no longer counted on the unemployment rolls. And so millions of people are off the rolls. They're not counted anymore as unemployed because they don't have jobs. Now, there are millions more people out there working 2 and 3 jobs, Uber jobs, gig economy jobs that dang near cost. At the end of the day, you're maybe making $3-4 an hour on these jobs, or you're working jobs at Amazon where literally they have meetings on don't leave your pee bottles in your delivery trucks. And these are the jobs people are working. Now, I'm not the kind of guy to scream, hey, government, shit good jobs out of your butt for us. That's silly. What I'm saying is tax us less, launder my tax dollars that are supposed to go for homes and small businesses less, put less money into the magical ever-changing climate initiatives. Where's that? That's our number one shit right now, dude. That's if you looked at
transgender monkeys,
billions of dollars for quote unquote climate change. And there's no tracking it. There's no tracking it. Like there's no tracking the Ukrainian money either. And have we brought up the immigrants? Have we brought up the I can't, man. See, I said I wasn't going to do this. I said I was going to be intelligent and measured and talk about the reasons why Joe Biden might be a good president. Like, There might be some other than I hate Trump and good for black people, which is blatantly and clearly false and a lie and provably and easily provably wrong. Yeah, man. And that's the problem, is that I need to be able to talk to people in this campaign season and let them know, like you do, the facts. 400% business growth, HBCU in the office, the simple fact that conservative principles restored and an economy put back on an oil, ultimately gold foundation versus a debt war economy is better for everyone, including black folks, than reinvesting into our communities by allowing you to have more money in your pocket to do more things in your communities, like a protocol. Anyway, what were we? I got mad about Joe Biden. That never happened.
I understand. Joe, listen, Joe will make you do that. And that's why tonight I'm wearing my brother of the year, but I am going to start wearing this a whole lot more, guys. Joe and the hoe gotta go. All right. Remember that. Joe and the hoe gotta go. This is brought to you by joesgottagotour.com. You guys check out Joe's Gotta Go Tour. Shouts out to my dog, Brother Carter, who's doing a phenomenal job traveling around the country, talking to people about why Joe and the hoe gotta go.
Gotta go. And that's fair. And once again, and this is what I'm not saying Trump is perfect. I'm not saying he's the best president ever. I'm not saying he's the second coming of Abraham Lincoln. I'm saying, due to what's going on now, given the two choices we have, don't pull that self-righteous third-party bullshit on me. Okay, don't do that whole, well, blah, blah, blah. I see people do it. Oh my God. I'm just saying, man, it frustrates me because, like, I have a very good friend, support him, brilliant dude, business dude, and he blatantly knows how, he's a HBCU master's degree graduate, and he blatantly sees how screwed up Joe Biden is, and he's like, Joe is trash, he posts, right? And then there's a dude that posts right over him, but you're not saying Trump is better, are you? He's like, no. And it's like, see what I'm saying? This is the problem, is that mind control. They got us all like that. And that's what's frustrating. And for you, what is it? Because you live in the trenches, breaking people out of that. What is a good way to go about that? A screaming white dude going, the Democratic Party hates you, bro. That's not, you know what I'm saying? That's not the way. I understand. This old man screaming, you ain't black if you don't vote for him, and that doesn't piss you off, and that's the guy you want to, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's not the way.
Have you seen my video? I know you saw my video. Well, I cursed Biden out for that.
Yeah.
So, hey guys, if you haven't seen that video, this is how I know that the Trump team knows exactly who I am. Like, they know me and they watch me. And this is how I know this is to be true. So Biden makes that, statement. And I do a lot. I do a nice rant. I called Joe Biden everything but a child of God, and I meant it. And you could see the steam coming from my ears from him making this statement. And I used some very choice words. And this is around the time, like, there were so many black conservatives who were making the videos. Hey, Joe, I'm black, and I ain't vote for no Democrat. Hey, Joe, I'm black, and I didn't push the button for you. Hey, Joe, I'm going crazy. So everybody's going viral. There's compilations. And of course, mine is good old sailor, trailer park, trash talking, gutter words, right? So of course mine didn't, it got some push, but it wasn't being put in all these compilations that was going on. So Trump team seen it, and they made the commercial, where Biden's like, and then you ain't vote for me, you ain't black. And it has the really sad piano music.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
That music is playing, right? And I am you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And my mug is the very first face you see.
Nice.
It goes from Biden to me. And I was like, yes. Shouts out to 45 and the team, because I was livid and I cussed Joe Biden ass out. And I know that they couldn't use my video, but they had footage from me from another event from a rally, and they used my and they were putting a whole bunch of black faces, and I was like, my niggas, man, I love y'all. I
Let's
see
go.
I see the subliminal messages. We communicating, bro. We here. I love it. So if you haven't seen that video, y'all, of me cursing out Biden, it's like the very first video I've ever uploaded on Rumble, and it only lives on Rumble. That is a Rumble exclusive. I'm gonna do a drop, Rumble exclusive drop. I'm gonna pin that.
You know who else is I think Rumble exclusive now? Candace Owens.
I did it first. Candace, man, listen, I'm gonna be real. We've said this over in Hotep Nation, right? We've said this in Hotep Nation, and I'm going to say it right here, right now on Rumble. Her team is not only watching Hotep Nation, her team is watching me.
Absolutely.
Her team is
Absolutely.
watching me because she said entirely too much stuff in that interview that who owns an internet radio station that gives artists a platform to actually be heard, huh? That is other than the crap that get played on the mainstream, because the mainstream won't play these clean artists. Me, this
Right.
guy,
Right.
Rec Radio, SAV.com, who started an entertainment company in 2008 to have better social experiences for the black community at HBCUs. Me, this guy, right here, who's always telling artists that they need to make clean music because this other stuff is horrible for our community. Been saying it forever. Me, this guy, P2K. That hit my Rob Van Dam situation, right there.
Hell yeah,
She's
RVD.
so, it's interesting, hearing the things that she's saying that she's doing. And again, it is a great message. I'm not saying that is not the great message, because shit, it is my message. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't gonna get me on the you're not gonna get me on hood and I fail the black test. I'm not gonna fail, you know what I'm saying? We're so lucky we got them good times, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna have me fail that. You're not gonna have me fail one little fight and my mom got scared. You feel me? I'm gonna hit that quickly. You're not gonna hit me with the Jones funny. You're not gonna hit me with the God
Good
is
to have
good
you back, Jonah.
all the time, God is good. You're not gonna get me to slip up on that. You feel me? My black card is being proven completely all the way through. So it just is what it is. But hey, guy, I'm bearded, I'm a proud boy, you know what I'm saying? I carry big guns all over the place. These are things that these platforms do not want. They don't want platform. They don't want to see uh things like
Right.
that.
No, I hear you. Hey, that's why I think Master Ray might be a Fed. So, hey, moving on. But yeah, I think Master Ray's a Fed. I think he's one
You
of the
think
most
my
brilliant. If I was going to try to infiltrate, Master Ray
Mhm.
would be my ultimate dude. You know what I mean? Swole up, pro gun, doesn't speak in Ebonics. You know what I mean? He can speak to a white man. He's swole. So he looks like an American hero, a comic book dude. He's all about guns and how black guns matter, and he just gets to run with that. And no one's putting the bite down on it. No one's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
No,
And he gets to
he's a
just be a black dude waving guns. What happens
no,
when a rapper waves a gun? He goes to jail.
no,
A rapper
no.
waves a gun on Instagram and goes to
But
jail.
Maj,
Anyway, that's a whole nother thing.
he's facing charges right now for guns.
Well, and Enrique got put up the river for 22. That's what I'm saying, dog.
He's it's look, he has his day in court, and then it'll be decided once he goes through court on whether he'll be sitting in there for X amount of years or not. You know what I'm saying? And we do know that feds burn feds. That is, I'm not
Yeah.
negating that. I'm not arguing that at all. But to say that, hey, he doesn't have a case, or they're not going after him about his guns. No, they're definitely going after him. There are things that has happened and are happening to him. I just don't, I definitively, I can't say that there is or isn't enough. Can I say that I've had some questionable situations that, hey, Jonah, look, Jonah, I love you. Do you see did you see Jonah used the proper name? He used the proper name, okay? And look, I'm the guys. I look, y'all see what that says right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm
What a
anyway.
great inside joke. That's maybe the best inside joke we've ever had. What a great inside joke. I'm leaving it
um
up.
yeah. But so it's like, nah, man. I've had a good brain fart right there, but I'm not going down with it.
G Master 11 says you really think so about Maj. I just think that if I was going to, I mean, pro, and just to kind of pull back for a second,
Hmm.
and I think one of the things that is cool about our show is that we both think differently. I do not think like the average white dude, you know what I'm saying? At all. You know what I mean? And you do not think like the average black dude at all. We come from different worlds, and we apply that to our lives today to be able to communicate with folks and that kind of thing. So when I look at it as if I was in this scenario, I'm like, if I was the bad guy, the worst guy, or if I was a Fed and I was trying to infiltrate, what would I do? What would I use? Who would I use? And why? And you know what I mean? My man says, so you think so about Maj because he's technically not a threat. Well, neither is
Oh,
Tim
that's
Pool.
that's a she.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tim. I'm
Yeah,
so sorry, G
G
Master.
Master is the one. I just
I
like
see no photo,
yeah,
and
yeah, I know. It's a she. I know who she is. That's
this
a she.
our show is one step past the fucking locker room. So thank you, young lady, for coming on in. I appreciate you. So, but I'm not saying okay. He's technically not a threat. Any conservative black man who is well armed and knows how to use his weapons and is mentally and physically fit is an absolute threat to them, and that is what they're the most scared of. Protocols, measures, right? So to allow folks like that, because I see how protocol gets shadow banned and banned. It's not even shadow ban. We don't have to biggity ban. You know what I'm
Biggity
saying?
band. I'm
Uh,
big band.
I mean, you don't have them. You didn't have. You had a few thousand. You know what I mean? You didn't have 10 million followers, and
Mm-hmm.
they zipped you up quick on
Mm-hmm.
your shit. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Hotep Jesus is banned from Facebook as well, right? And these guys don't have and I understand you went a little harder, waving your guns and stuff, all respect, and you should have the right, no hate. But there are people that have done far less, that have gotten banned and caught that ban, right? So to me, that's the thing, and that is their biggest threat is a black man who's willing to take care of his community and to be well armed and to push back against, racist federal government encroachment upon his money, his land, his personal value, or any of his God-given rights, in my opinion. So to me, that's what the federal government is most scared of, and so why they don't Maj up and let him kind of run the way he runs. I just know if I was a Fed and I wanted a guy that would infiltrate and have the groups and build that, Maj would be the guy I would create. He would be you know what I'm saying? I go on the computer and
He could be the
you
archetype,
know.
you know what I'm saying? And I could see that. I can see where you feel that way and how you would feel that way. It's just I personally I haven't come to that conclusion, right, with him. Again, and this is a person who I've also been in multiple rooms with and
Yeah.
had multiple conversations with, and we don't see eye to eye on things. And there I'm now I will say that I have had a questionable situation happen in recent times that has me like, and then I think back to the handlers conversation, you know what I'm saying? Because I look at one nonprofit organization that we deal with that has handlers and how they move. And then I look at another nonprofit organization that if one has handlers and moves a particular way, I'm pretty sure that this one has handlers and moves a particular way as well. Um, I just see the freedom in the movement in one, I guess, because I'm closer and delved than I do with the other one. But the jury is still out, And it could be. I am not saying that that is something that cannot, will not, shall not happen. It could very well happen. And it could be proven that, damn, he is a Fed. I don't know, right? But you are correct in where, the archetype is
Yeah.
definitely there. You know what I'm saying? Like the groundwork is definitely laid for you to be like, Fed boy.
Well, I
He's
just
gotta hit you with the Ed and Eddie. Fed boy.
the impunity he's able to build a million plus following with. That's all I'm saying, man. So
Okay. So to the point of that, and thank you for saying that, right? It hasn't been with impunity. All right. Maj has lost probably more Twitter accounts than I have. I'm sure.
that's okay.
Yeah, he's this is the Maj Toure 999, whatever it is on X right now, not his original account. Like that account maybe I don't even think that account is a year old yet. All right.
That's fair.
Same
And maybe I don't know.
sa-
You know what I'm saying?
same thing with Instagram. You feel me? He's lost multiple Instagram accounts as well. They're going at him. It's just I don't know. Again, the archetype is there. I just don't. I cannot definitively. I haven't had things happen with him and me definitively like I have had with other operations to be like, hey, this is this. Have I put myself in the position to find out? Heck yes. That's what pro does. Pro jumps in the fire to find out, okay, is or is this ain't? And we're gonna lay it out. Yeah.
Well, no, and I know if anybody's gonna find out, it will be you. You know what I mean? And honestly, I hope he's not. I just find that he's doing a lot, and he's not getting the level of pushback that even you or Hotep Jesus is. And I just wonder how's he able to do all that. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, you see why Brandon Tatum can do what he does. You know what I mean? There's no, I mean,
Yeah, we know. We know what Brandon Tatum is,
that's your boy.
man,
Uh, LS says protocol stay with the bando. You know what I'm saying? And I agree that he's not a Malcolm yet. He doesn't have that level of presence. And Jonah said a little bit earlier that we even know the black gun movement has been infiltrated. I think every good movement has been infiltrated, quite honestly, in my opinion.
Mhm.
So Alex Jones is lost, Andrew Tate is lost, but Move Like Everyone is fed. So I think. And I wonder about that with Alex Jones. You know what I mean? Is he just throwing darts and sometimes he lands incorrectly and we say fed? You know what I mean? Or is he a fed? Right?
Is he? I don't know. I'm with Jonah. Move like everybody's a Fed. Fuck it. Move like everybody's a Fed until they ain't a Fed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man, hey, look, on the real, there are certain people that make a pretty good living supposedly pointing out all the feds and, tinfoil hat conspiracies and stuff like that. And since I Special Agent Bill Hicks, I love it. And since I've been working with the man, my numbers have gotten hit in the balls. You know what I'm saying? Like my numbers have taken a hit, bro. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like after, a situation where I'm hanging out with people with millions of followers and posting and getting tons of likes, you'd think that I would at least maintain the numbers I was doing, over that. But yeah, no, not at all. So that's interesting. My man says Special Agent Bill Hicks, and I love that. For those of you that do not know, Bill Hicks was a revolutionary, visionary comedian that he was a little kind of disagree with him now on some stuff, but he was still great. And people say, and he died young, and people say that Alex Jones is just, he faked his death and became Alex Jones. So because Kevin Booth was the connection, Kevin Booth was a video producer that produced Alex Jones' first videos, and he also produced a lot of Bill Hicks stand-up comedy videos. You can look up Kevin Booth. I think he's still out there. Haven't looked him up in a while, but he is, he was best friends with Bill Hicks and Alex Jones at the same time produced both of their videos. Look it up. It's a great little conspiracy thing. She says, Brandon. All right, you go, G. So anyway, so yeah, man, I think they tout unemployment rates, which are false. They've renamed. They had to rename what a recession was. I don't know if you remember this because this was last year. Bill Hicks at Waco. That's a great bit. You got to look that up. Speaking of great bits, while we're on that, just real fast, I gotta hit you with something right now. My man Shane Cashman. Shout out to Shane Cashman. Pew 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 pew. He just released a book about he just released a novella that he released solely on Twitter, and it's amazing, and it's about Kanye West. And I posted an excerpt from that, and I will pull that up, excuse me, right now. And I just want to show this excerpt from it, and it is awesome. And it is from Kanye West is Dead. And it says, excerpt from the Shane Cashman Project, Kanye West is Dead. The prey uses the remote to turn on the television. He looks for a channel and stops at the rerun of E! Network special, Let's Hunt and Kill Billy Ray Cyrus, hosted by Bill Hicks. Brilliant, beautiful, amazing. You gotta love it. It's a deep, dark thing. Kanye absolutely loved it. Yay, loved it. So interested, it's right there on his Twitter. You can go read it for free. And if you love it, drop him some money in his PayPal account. We love Shane Cashman a lot, and he'll be a guest soon. Speaking of that, Bryson, also good news for Bryson Gray. He's in top 10 on iTunes 10. Music. Yeah, he's number 7
for the new album.
Yeah, for the new record that he dropped, which is awesome. Honestly, I love. There's 2 tracks that I think are hit bangers, like legit hit bangers on that. So that I've heard, and I haven't got to listen to the whole record all the way through, but there are 2. One of them is, I think, one of his best tracks that I've ever heard. One of my favorites. So he's still bringing the fire. He's still bringing the heat. In fact, I think he brings it more than ever. So anyway, Special Agent Bill Hicks.
I'm gonna lie, bro. That movie, that album, that so far I haven't finished it yet. I'm trying to finish it. Yo,
is it good? I haven't watched it yet. Where did you get it? Amazon?
It's on YouTube.
It's on you. Oh, okay.
It's on YouTube. Yeah. The whole hour-long feature is on YouTube, man.
Nice.
Oh man, Jonah, I'm not reading that. Okay, you're not about to crush my heart. Okay, I am not reading that, and I'm not taking that in my soul. And sir, I will not accept any Ye slander. Okay, I won't accept any Ye slander.
Well, Kanye West himself admits he was infiltrated. He was like, the Illuminati got my family.
Yeah,
they came after me. I mean, he says it in his records.
He does.
So yeah, he was infiltrated.
He said it. He was.
Yeah, man. So I mean, come on.
I'm there. I understand. I know that he was like cousins. He was a human cousin Skeeter. All right. He had their hand up his butt and they was controlling what he was doing. All right. And then I don't know who Morpheus was for Kanye, but Morpheus snuck in there and he could take the red pill or the blue pill. And he took the red pill and he was flying. I know Kung Fu. Show me. You know, and he was around here kung fuing it up. You all right? Kung fuing it up. And then he flew off and he came back, but he got the ability. See, he got the ability to sit in the chair and had the little thing put in his neck, you know, right at the base of his head where he can get up in the Matrix and right. So that's what he been doing lately. He been in the Matrix in his suit doing his thing, right? Kicking his butt. And everybody thought, oh, he went back. Nah, he is there fighting all the Agent Smiths. That's all he doing. So he had to go in the Agent Smith world, and he had to put on their clothes and move how they move so he can go kick their butt. That's what I believe. That's what I think. And yeah. But I do believe Donna was on some other shit.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I also think that I think, let's see here. Talking Donda was a recruiter. She was De Niro in The Recruit. Okay. You know, I think they came after him and they didn't realize how intelligent he was and how much fight he had in him and how much success and how he was able to. The brilliance in Kanye that a lot of people don't see is his way to mechanize his success to not only do hip hop and fashion, but to get into all of these worlds and show people and show that he wouldn't be controlled. And his whole point is, I have to have the success without being controlled. That's the whole freaking point of it. And I think he did a great job of that. As we come up on the second hour here, man, we'll close off. I want to get into a little bit of Trump news. Just because, man, you know what I mean? If you're not paying attention, they're going to be hitting you hard. You know what I'm saying? She said, G Master says, yes, Jonah. So, yeah.
I just want to press this button since we're getting ready to go there. Let's go ahead and bring him in here properly. Let's get it.
47. All right. So here's the thing. They're saying that the first thing is Lisa Murkowski, who is a trash senator, says she wants to leave the GOP because she hates Trump. Bye, bitch. That's all I got to say to that. Anything on that? So.
Bye-bye. And
now,
and to Liz Cheney, I have this for you.
Carly, don't answer. Yes, they deserve to die. And I hope they burn in hell.
they died. I hope they burn in hell. So now everybody's saying Trump is angry or he's lashing out because of the $464 million bond, which is crazy because no one's ever seen that before. You know, so I don't understand why people aren't offended and worried about that. The only person who I've seen really making a good stink about it is the dude from Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you got to accept it. They're still going on about Kanye over here. Don't forget he got banned for attacking Elon's cult of rail. Nah, ye folded. Okay. All right.
I don't know, man.
Well, with the new record, you know, I think that I'm hoping we're on a setup for a redemption arc. I want to see that redemption arc, yo. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that redemption arc happen. I believe it can. I believe it will. I believe it should. I believe it can. So, because remember,
series, right?
Yeah, Vultures is a 3-part series. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's got to be a transformation arc. That's the whole point. Kanye is thinking deeper and bigger, y'all. You can't just look at what's in front of you. This is chess, not checkers, right? So, anyway, I was gonna pull up the Guardian, but it's making me angry because it's like Trump is stupid. You know what I mean? So
they're all on that Trump is stupid tip, man. Like I'll put it this way: when it comes to the 454, right? They looked at what Trump had on hand for cash, right? So when looking at what he had on hand for cash, they had to figure out how could they drain him for that money. All right.
Right.
Boom, we're going to hit him for this fine at this amount right here.
Yeah, they found out exactly what he had. Yeah, no,
they
go ahead.
To get the 454 million. They thought that they could go ahead and we're gonna hit him for 300 some odd million and he gonna have to pay. And then he's like, nah, bro, I'm not paying that. Y'all are not gonna get my money. And then it started getting more and more. And they're like, oh, they're happy because now we can go and we can hit him for his properties. We can take his property. Like, and screw y'all. It's not going to happen. And it's going to be so great when he appeals this because this has never been done before, as you stated. These people, man, these people are sick, bro. Let's get to the article. They're sick asses.
No, you're right. So this is what Trump posted. They're saying he's complaining. On Sunday, the former president took aim at Fox News in a post on his Truth Social platform over the conservative network's coverage of the fraud case. I don't, conservative, I don't know. I think they're more down the middle than anything because there's a lot of conservatives that aren't happy with Fox. Remember they fired Tucker? Anyway, don't like the way Fox News is reporting the Letitia James election interference scam, Trump wrote on Truth Social. They don't want to discuss how ridiculous the corrupt judge's fine of $450 million is. It should be $0. The only fraud was the evaluation of Mar-a-Lago at the $18 million by the crooked judge in order to help his already fully debunked narrative, which is actually true. We could go into that, and we might next time. They should pay me damages for what they should pay me damages for what they've done, and they ultimately will. These people are not the people that made America great. These people are the people that are destroying America, and I agree with him. Trump did not specify what Fox News program or host he had a problem with in his criticism on social media. Newsweek reached out to representatives for Trump and Fox News for comment. While they've generally been on good terms throughout his political career, he's become increasingly critical of the conservative network in recent years. Trump did not make a live appearance on the network from 2022 until earlier this year when they held a town hall in Iowa. Trump blasted Fox News earlier this month on True Social over a network featuring guests who criticize him. That's fair. Well, and that's because they're not really doing much for him right now. Yeah. So
anti-Trump.
She must say, "Girl, bye." Yeah.
While.
Yeah, because of Murdoch. Well, I mean, as soon as they fired Tucker and gave $1 billion to whoever they held, who did they give $1 billion to again? Somebody that just, their whole thing right now is destroying independent media. They are the tip of the spear because who are pulling viewers from them? You, me, Hotep Jesus, Joe Rogan. You know what I mean? The people that used to tune into Fox News, and if you look, Jesse Waters, their primetime guy who took Tucker's spot, he's trying to do a Joe Rogan impression. He's got podcasts. He literally has more podcasters on than anything right now because they know where it is. You know what I mean? So, yeah. True Social going public will handle the lightweight Letitia, Tishy Tish, James Static. Absolutely. Murdoch was best friends with Kissinger. And that's a big deal right there, man. That's some uniparty, one world UN BS that is whack and weak and wrong and evil. So, the thing about it is Trump just keeps trucking no matter how much. And that was one thing we talked about earlier today off air. But, as much as I hate the alarmist stuff, and I'm starting to see through a lot of it, because you can only ride the world is going to end next week for so many years before people go, maybe it's not. Maybe I need to, you know what I mean? Think about a 401k or something. It's important to see how they might be trying to subvert this election. Do you see any, there's been a lot of ways, troublemaker Jesse Waters does need to have you on. Everybody needs to have you on, my brother. So anyway, what do you see, man? What are the main ways you could see this election being subverted or diverted, in your opinion?
I see a shutdown. I see a war. I see things happening to the fact that we don't have an election, especially if I get my way and we start having these Trump, block parties and things happening in the hood. We start getting major movement where it's like, oh my God, we're about to lose. Oh, what are we going to do? Right.
Right.
That's going to be it. Yeah.
Well, because it's culture and politics is downstream of culture. That's not an incorrect statement. And that's what I think they're most worried about.
One thing that we know, Trump knows and understands the culture better than anyone that I know. That's y'all, if y'all haven't seen that interview with the idiot talking about the shoes, go watch it.
That's black people like shoes. Well, so do white people, and so do Mexican people, and so do I think Asians are the biggest sneakerheads in the world. Quite honestly, true story.
They are.
I don't know but man, I know my Korean and Japanese brothers live for their shoes the way I love my shoes, the way you love your shoes. You know what I mean? So anyway, I find anyone with, who likes shoes? People with feet. They love shoes. It's crazy.
Who would have thought? People with feet love shoes.
What?
But when I found out that they love more than shoes?
Trump what?
Socks.
So, whoa. Fair, but if I had to choose and I was walking on rough ground, You know what I'm saying? I'm going shoes every time. You know what I'm saying?
Shoes
But
every
that's just
time.
me. You know what I'm saying? I'm wild. I'm wild like that.
I'll even
Sometimes
take the
there's a whole
shoes that
look with
have like the
shoes, no
suction.
socks.
You know,
Yeah.
they have the suction, like, they just suck your feet to pause. Just
Maybe socks are just a black people thing. I don't know. I can't.
yeah, maybe. But I love socks in
You,
my shoe. I don't
okay,
like
I'm
being
you
barefoot in my shoes. That's the weirdest feeling in the world. I need
would
a
you say you're
burial.
standing 10 toes down for socks? You know what I'm saying?
I'm standing 10 toes down. And look, my favorite socks is the one with the hole in the big toe. Okay, I'm
Oh,
grounded.
damn. See, I like the ones. I don't know. There's something about like I like the ones where like the heel and the toe have the same color, but it's different than the rest of the sock. It makes me feel
Yeah,
like I'm a
yeah,
college professor or something when I put those.
yeah. I have a lot of those in all black socks with the gray heel and the gray toes.
It makes
Beans
me
has that
feel
thing.
professional.
Yeah,
Like
right.
I'm getting. I want to pipe. I want to smoke a pipe. You know what I mean? And sit in a room with books when I put those socks on.
So, but
Let's
then you
see. What's
have
my
those
man say?
socks like
Say what?
I said then you have those socks like my favorite socks. I like graphic socks, like I like graphic tees, right?
Hmm.
And my favorite socks right now are the Boys in the Hood socks.
Yes. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, we were talking about. My wife got me them for Christmas, and that was awesome. And my man Jonah saying, "Pull up the image, brother." I checked my not getting an image from you, so send it. Let me know where you sent it. So, Jonah also says socks are some of the best donations for the homeless. I agree. But by the way, we have the same Boys in the Hood socks. My wife was like, "You're gonna love them," and then I find out the homie. I show him when I'm like, "Bro, look at the socks I'm wearing tonight." And he's like, "I got the same ones." It was gangster. So,
Gangster.
yeah. So this is pause with your smoking pipe. Ah, ah, ah. The Sherlock Holmes. You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
LS says it's going to be a serious 24-hour watch party for the next election. Everybody will be watching vote totals all night. Exactly. That is one thing that I do like is that uh, forced transparency, if you will.
I lost my. I'll find it in a minute. Okay,
What'd you lose?
my peace pipe.
Oh, I got my peace vape stick, man. That's some
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Here's the thing I hate about this is that there's no window, right? There's no window on it anywhere. So like the problem there is that I don't know when I'm running low. You know what I mean? I
Right.
don't like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
that
you know what I
sucks.
mean? I'll pay the extra 4 cents for the window, dog. Don't do me like that. I got important places to be. And what if like I jump in the car to drive for an hour and boom, I take my hit. You know what I'm saying? It's my last, you know what I'm saying? It's my last jam. You know what I mean? And then like I'm sitting there and I'm stuck. You know what I mean? It's brutal stuff. So that's what that is. All right. Follow link. Okay, so Jonah has sent me an image and I'm gonna pull it up and just look at it quick before you know what I'm saying. So yeah. So there we go. Okay, so this is cool. All right, so we're gonna share this right now. Boom, I got it, Jonah. And this is Biden's bonfire t-shirt. Can you see that? Let me just go ahead and enlarge. Bing, bang, boom. And then we're going to scroll down. Let's make sure. All right. So as you can see here, this is Biden's bonfire is what it is called. And it is a t-shirt you can get by Troublemaker Jonah, our friend and man in the chat. It's Latin, Biden's, English, 2 teeth. Translation of Biden's, noun, ho, and animal for sacrifice, Biden's. Prong ho, Biden's. So Biden is an animal sacrifice ho, is what my man is saying right there. Good for you, Jonah. I love the fact
Use
you're
a
putting it together.
hoe.
Use a
Use a
hoe. Your
hoe.
mama said that. Yeah. Oh, I missed that jam. I forgot about that jam. Speaking of jams, talk to me about the week you got coming up, brother. What do you got, man?
All
We're
right,
gonna
all
we're
right,
gonna
all
start to
right.
get out of here. So
Yes,
talk to me.
cool. Let's get it. So this week coming up, we have Tuesday night. I will be featured again on All the Woman at Large, Alicia Miller Blakely show. We're actually going to finish what we started this Tuesday, but I'm going to have way more time and I'm going to be way more armed. I'm coming in there, man. I'm coming out there in there with handouts. You understand? I'm coming in handouts, and you know what I might do? I might even I might even take the studio to the studio, right? I may come in
Whoa.
with my stuff. I may go ahead and set the whole thing so we can have the visuals and
Yes.
everything. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. You should.
Because
Yes.
I'm coming with the swords. I'm coming to slice heads off shoulders on Tuesday. All right. So y'all stay tuned to all the social medias, and I will send the link to that on Tuesday, or for Tuesday on Tuesday. Wednesday, we have a creators event, and the rapper Mano was also on a show now, I believe, with Angela Yee. He's a personality on Angela Yee's show. He'll be in town, and there's a event for creators, so I'll be there with them. Getting my creative juices on, getting me some good old footage that I can put on the shows and out here
And
on
that's
Twitter.
Wednesday?
That is on Wednesday. That is on
Heck yeah,
Wednesday.
bro.
Um, excuse me. Thursday, chill day. Friday, of course, Friday night flights is going down. We're gonna hopefully we have us a pretty decent news week, and we got some things to talk about. We can go ham on that. And then Saturday is the big day, March 30th. We are having the had a brain fart just that quick. Okay, it is the Savannah Teens Got Talent show, talent competition rather. We have $3,000 on the line for a lucky teenage performer. All right, the audience and judges will be deciding on who did the best at the show. When the kid is going to take home $3,000. Plus, there's also going to be some other things. And I do believe, stay tuned for this. I do believe that I will broadcast live from there on Saturday as well, so you guys can meet the contestants and all of that good stuff. So it's going to be a very, 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 very busy week for me this week. And I'm sure there's a couple of other things that I may be missing, but it is what it is. So yeah, those are the big things.
Yeah, man, we're gonna have our meetings. I got of course to Monday night. I'll be producing for the Racing Realtor Gabe Ellington podcast. That goes out at 7:30 p.m. Central, and I'll be making sure that goes out well. We filmed, and then I edit and blast it out there. And then Tuesday will be PT Pod, and I haven't figured out who my guest is going to be yet. So I really want to get Hotep Federales in if I can get him. If not, it'll be somebody I know and love that'll be fun to talk to. Wednesday night will probably be family night for me because Thursday. Oh no, Wednesday I'm actually recording with Gabe again, and I got something else to do on Wednesday. I forgot, but I've got something else to do. Wednesday's a very long one for me. Because then Thursday I'm more available, and this week I have to get to the day work stuff and get the business stuff going, my own business, and then as you know, I am officially the manager, personal manager for Hotep Jesus. I'm also doing some, yeah. I love it when a plan comes together. So very proud of that. And it's time to really dig in and start getting that strategy going. We're working with you. Got a meeting with the Grifties fam because we're already starting. So next year it's going to be even better and bigger. We're going to have stuff locked in. It'll be easier to do. Also working on shout out and love Lila Hart, who's got a deep Filipino connection. And we're working on getting her to Hawaii. And then, of course, Shane Cashman. Love him. Gonna, try to be working with him. I want you guys to all stay tuned for bookings and stuff. Want you guys to all stay tuned. We're gonna have a great guest next week. It'll be one of our first guests. I think our first Sunday night guest, because when we did Jonah, it was a Tuesday. We've done some PT pod crossovers, but next week will probably be our first guest for Rumble on Rumble. So that's what I got working, is making sure, all our engines are running, the promotions are going, digging deep. I'm excited about the new strategies. Stay tuned for this summer. We're going to be doing some big stuff this summer, man. I'm excited. Looks like we're going to try to put together a little mini tour, see how that goes. You know what I mean? So stay tuned for that. Shout out to everybody for listening. We love you. Tell them where they can find you, Pro.
All right, man. If you're looking for your boy and you want to stay in tune, you want to chat, you want to talk, you just want to say, "Oh my God, Pro, I love you. You're the best." I'll just say thank you. You can tell me that over on X at Seaport Pro. That is at CPORTPRO. You can also find me on Rumble at Protocol. You can find me on YouTube at Protocol. It's spelled right there, right next to my face. You see it right there? It's right here. It's Protocol. That's how you spell my name. It's right
Pew,
there.
pew, pew, pew.
You can find me there, and I'm also over on Facebook if you into those kinds of things. Pro Reacher Adams, because I'm a preacher when it comes to this real deal Holyfield stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also on Truth. It's Protocol as well. If you want to go on Truth, I don't really mess with that too much. And I'm on Telegram, but you can find me on any of those other places, and I'll tell you how to get to me on Telegram.
Oh, yeah, the little secret hook. I don't even have your Telegram. I don't know if I want your Telegram, but I don't have your Telegram.
We're in a few Telegram chats together, man. So
I know we are. I'm playing. I make jokes. So, my man LS on the way out says, "You're not supposed to know that song, Mike." Oh, use a hoe. I said that. Use a hoe. Anyway, my man says, "Yeah, well, I'm coming back. Yeah, you are coming back stronger than ever." My man Jonah said he killed 2 shows tonight. Pew, 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 pew. Double fist in it. Everybody get that shit from Jonah. Help a struggling man out if you can. I am at CHALL comedy. That's Chall. It's actually supposed to be C Hall, but it's Chall. CHALL comedy on your Instagrams and your Twitters. FW Mike, look for me there on your Twitter. X. We love you. We will see you next week. If you need anything, don't be afraid to hit us up. And remember, next week we're going to have a great guest probably. And if not, we're still going to bring fire because that's what we do, baby. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Good night. Oh, we love you, Candace Owens. Good night.
He loves you.